afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Please.
Thank you, sir.
So, you are Miss Priya Purohit.
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
Sir, I'm from Kolkata.
Kolkata. Let's start with a brief introduction of yourself.
Sir, my name is Priya Purohit. I am born and brought up in Kolkata. I did my graduation from St. Xavier's College, Kolkata in commerce, and I worked in a number of internships. And after that, I started preparing for civil services in 2021. So, as a person, I like social events, and I also like, in recent time, I have acquired to listen about Indian spirituality and mythology. Sir.
Okay. So, what is your graduation degree?
Sir, I graduated in 2020 in BCom.
In BCom.
Yes, sir.
From St. Xavier's College, Kolkata. And
Yes.
schooling is in?
Sir, it is in Kolkata from Maheshwari Balika Vidyalaya.
Maheshwari Balika. So, you are a BCom student. How will your service help the government in civil service? How will your profession, or rather, how will your degree help in the civil service profession?
Sir, in BCom, we learn a number of subjects like economics, normal finance, accounting, and even marketing. So, this understanding gives me an edge if I get a service. So, I will be able to understand the technical terms. And so, other readings will also be required in a service, detailed study. So, I will have a background to understand that also.
Okay. It is seen that you have given your foreign service option 7,
Yes, sir.
but your optional is political science, I guess,
Yes, sir.
and international relations. So things don't match. So why foreign service is number 7?
Sir, it is my assessment that I wanted to work in India,
Okay.
and when I decided that if I can settle in a foreign location for a long time, sir, I wanted to be in India and work here. So, however, foreign services is very interesting service, and in my option I understand that.
Yes.
But sir, if I get a chance, I have this preference for India. And so second reason is that when I discuss with my parents and I want to keep them with me, so I see that that is mostly possible when I'm in India.
Okay. So 2 international events which have been going on now. One is Russia-Ukraine war, another is Israel and Palestine conflict. In these 2 events, which event had impacted India more? What do you think?
So I think the Russia-Ukraine war has impacted India more because in one way, India could come out as a very strategic balancer where it could manage its partner with Russia, and also it could make US understands India's own stand. And second, sir, on the economic front, India did make certain benefit. For example, the fertilizer part or the oil price part, and so that has an impact even on our budget. So, sir, recently in the budget, the subsidy amount was reduced. It was because we got some more relaxation from the Russian fertilizer. So, I think, sir, this has more impact.
You must be knowing that traditionally, before India had been pro-Palestine, Indian governments had been pro-Palestine, and this government is being seen as pro-Israel. So how does it affect India when in the international scenario being seen as pro-Israel now?
Yes, sir.
So does it affect India?
Sir, India's official stand is clear that we are for the Palestinian cause and we are up for the two-nation theory.
Okay.
But at the same time, our support for Israel has been also considering certain very recent historical factors. So we received support from Israel in the Kargil war, and after 2014, the trade interaction and our people-to-people connection with Israel has become really deepened. So, sir, this is a part of practical way that India supports Israel. But our overall philosophy is, sir, I think it is uniform.
So do you think India is doing a very good balancing job here? Do you agree with India's balancing job in this scenario between Israel and Palestine?
Sir, I think it is a good job of India to do the balancing, because India on one side, it has taken a very calibrated move in UN. It has maintained that position that it will not right away attack Israel, or it has maintained the abstention in the voting. But at the same time, India has been also open and sending help assistance to Palestinian people. So the medical assistance and certain food material has also been sent. So that sort of balancing India shows that we are not in favor of war, but we are against any kind of terror attack. But the overall issue is same, that we stand for two nation theories.
You have done some social entrepreneurship program by Global Men's Initiative USA. What is this? Is it some private initiative there? What is this Global Men's Initiative?
So this is a public-private partnership in USA in Florida. So there is one Rollins College and with the US Department of Global Issues for Women. So sir, they have come here and partnered with Calcutta University and selected few students for a social entrepreneurship program. So sir, I was part of that.
So is similar program done by Indian government? Any social entrepreneurship program by the government of India, is it there?
Sir, particularly Indian government, I'm not sure, but sir, there is a assistance given by Indian government. Like Niti Aayog supported, there is a program.
Of social entrepreneurship?
Yes, sir.
What is the name?
Sir, it is again a public-private way by the Jubilant Bhartiya Foundation
Okay.
in cooperation with, in collaboration with Squawk Foundation
Okay.
of World Economic Forum. So Niti Aayog has a association with them.
Okay. And what is Devi Shringar? It was awarded Best Women-led Project. What was the concept about?
Sir, when I was associated with the social entrepreneur, my job was to help and uplift her business in some way. So this lady had a home-based sieving machine kind of business,
Okay.
but it had no name. So when I was working, I gave her suggestion that let's give it a name and let's create a say WhatsApp account or a group, so as to when even we are sharing a catalog of the sieving clothes or any wholesale material. So sir, that is why I gave this name Devi Shringar.
Are you aware of any social entrepreneurship program of the state government, center of West Bengal government?
Sir, I know that there are certain local e-hearts or hearts are being designed, but sir, I'm particularly name I'm not aware.
Okay. And you are listening to podcast on spirituality in Indian mythology.
Yes.
What have you listened recently?
So recently I listened one of the podcasts by Sister Shivani.
Okay.
So it is a Brahma Kumari Foundation. So she was explaining about life and its purpose and how to handle stress in general, sir.
So when you that means you like mythology to an extent.
Yes, sir.
So you must be interested in Ramayana and Mahabharata.
Yes, sir.
So what is your take in this recent Ram Mandir inauguration, Pran Pratishtha event? How did it impact the Indian society?
So I see that overall this Pran Pratishtha and having a Ram temple, it has a spiritual significance and overall significance for in general for society also in positive way. So because when people have a center of a spiritual faith and a place that is not created today but a place which is in their memory for ages, so they come here and again uplift and regain that spiritual experience. So second is that from if I may say from the economic or social perspective also, this project or this Ram Mandir inauguration helps to uplift even that. So I think this is part of spiritual tourism also. So it's attracting not only people from India but outside.
Then what is your take in the present Gyanvapi Masjid controversy?
Yes.
What is your take on it? How will you manage I hope you know the controversy.
Yes, sir.
So how will you manage the problem if you have been given the power to decide? Then how will you manage the problem or the controversy? What is your take?
So the recent Gyanvapi issue, it has again brought that matter whether the places of worship, can it be changed? Can their nature be changed? So my decision would be not to make a very immediate decision as to open this for the one community or disallowing another community. So because we have a community interest in mind. So my second factor would be to create a committee outside court and involve people of religious leaders, as it was also in the Ram Mandir's case. Like there were religious leaders, they were involved initially, like Ravi Shankar ji and from other community. So if that community can come to an amicable decision, so we want a non-violent and non-aggressive solution. That is the priority, sir, because it's better as we are going ahead to go peacefully and having a friendly association with all communities.
So you want to maintain the status quo and then hope the committee resolve itself.
So yes, that is the priority, that community together, community leaders, they understand that if such things are taken to court and
But
then
won't
there
it
is,
make the problem long drawn? Do you know how much time the Ram Mandir issue took to resolve?
yes sir. So Ram Mandir issue, it started actually way back in 1949. So it was an exception even in place of Worship Act. But Gyan Vapi might create sir other demands in my view. Because if this is allowed in the same way Ram Mandir temple was there, then sir it will open Pandora box.
Okay.
And sir, in my view, it's better to we go on a outside court and a committee level, society level solution.
So which is your favorite Indian mythology?
Sir, I have general understanding both Ramayana and Mahabharata, but sir, I like Ramayana in general.
Which character do you dislike in Ramayana?
Sir, I think one character, it's maybe Vibhishan. There's one maybe aspect which I'm not very fond of that, but in general I like that. But there's one few elements which I have not favored.
So you do not dislike him, but you do not favor some of his decisions.
Yes.
Do you mean to say that?
Yes, sir.
Like which decision?
So it is also a general saying that Ghar ka bhedi Vibhishan dhai. Like when he was sent from his brother's place, he came to Ram, and not only he came, but he also gave certain secrets to Ram. And there, if he could have maintained that secret and maybe his principle, that maybe I have come and joined Ram's party, but let me not give my secrets that I have from Lanka. So maybe this, sir. But that eventually helped in maintaining that war of right over wrong. But in personal capacity, I see that, sir.
Okay. I'll pass on
Yes,
to
sir.
you.
So you have been runner-up in inter-district extempo competition.
Yes, sir.
Can you give a 30-second extempo on your favorite mythological character?
Yes, sir. Sir, may I pick?
Any character of your choice.
So, sir, my favorite mythological character is Ram, and it is the journey. The saying that Ramayana, the word itself means the journey of Ram. So, the journey of Ram is a lesson for even a common man, that how a normal king turned into a lord. So, there are certain elements in his journey. So, one when Dashrath ji died, and when everybody approached Ram and said that now he is no more, you can come back to your king because that vachan or that word has gone. He maintained his discipline and he maintained that vanvas. And second is that when he met common people in his journey, he never showed a kingly attitude. He showed that he is a person for Shabri also, for Nishad Raj, and he even sat on floor. He never chose to get a kingly attitude from people. And sir, lastly, I would say that when Sri Ram, when he came to his home, the first person he approached was Kaikai Mata. This shows that he had not a single pinch of revenge or any kind of anger in his mind regarding against anybody. So this shows the journey of Ram.
Good, very good. So, can you define social entrepreneurship and how is it different from conventional entrepreneurship?
Yes, sir. So social entrepreneurship is a concept where the business or the enterprise can be for profit or non-profit, but it is mostly for a social impact. So it is like a business with heart, whereas a normal enterprise, it is mostly on profit basis. So sir, that is the
Can
difference.
you name certain organizations or NGOs which are into social entrepreneurship?
Yes, sir. Sir, there is one called Solar Celco India. So this was started in 2000, and this was started by a Raman Magsaysay Award winner. The idea was to provide a cheap solar products in the rural India. So second is a recently awarded social entrepreneur venture called Better India. So it is a for-profit online platform where they have a monthly reader of more than 200 million. But the idea is to create a positive environment in.
So how do they get funding, this kind of initiatives, when especially if they're not for profit?
Yes, sir.
So how do they get funding?
So there are a number of ways they get this in. One is that some of the element is profit making, like the ads or some profit margin. And second is the investment they get for like the fundraising or the investment they get from people who are socially aware. So for example, India is the largest impact investment destination in globally. So that shows that people are interested in investment, doing the investment in socially active ventures.
So recently, government has taken a very stringent approach regarding certain NGOs which receive foreign funding.
Yes.
So can you first of all tell what are the regulations in place to control foreign funding or funding overall, and what are the issues which government has found and that has led to such steps?
So in India, the foreign funding of an NGO is controlled through a statute, the FCRA regulation, and under that there are a number of rules that an NGO, for example, has to have an account of a Delhi-based SBI bank. Second, there are a number of proportion that they cannot, for example, use for other than that stipulated amount for any other purpose. Third regulation or rule is that they cannot transfer that money from that NGO to any other association. And so recently, some of the licenses have been taken over by the Ministry of Home Affairs, and they have cited reasons that the NGOs are not following that regulation. So maybe sometimes their SBI account has become dormant, or it was found that they have violated regulation and transferred the fund to other association. So in light of this, steps were taken.
So currently you are also working on an organization called Leveraged Growth.
Yes.
So can you please tell me your role there and the kind of activity you are associated with?
Sir, I was doing an internship while I was in college at Leverage Group, and after that I was working as project manager, and my role was to design a edtech platform and a HR based platform. In the edtech platform, the idea was that we would connect the colleges, universities with the companies and the college students in general. So that, and specifically in a financial niche based students, those who are pursuing any.
What was your contribution in that?
So my contribution that when I received this idea, I had to design how this platform can be created. Like from the model of like how this platform will be designed from students' perspective. How will they enter? So I had to create a PPT and show a step by step how this platform will be created. And from the company side also, like when they enter, what sort of categories they will fill in, and communicate that with the developer and my company.
So you are you have a decent idea about project management.
So yes.
So what is PART and what is CPM?
So I have to read about it. This I have not come across.
So for example, if you take UPSC, clearing UPSC as a project, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are the steps you will design for this project so that it reach its goal? What is the constraint, the time frame? Please, can you explain as a project manager?
Yes, sir. So the first step is one has to understand the time frame, like within which this project should be completed. For the first timer, I think the 1 year studying and 1 year for the exam is should be sufficient. The second is one has to understand where do we stand. If we are at the scratch, then we have to create a pyramid for the basic understanding, for advanced understanding, and lastly, the execution of that understanding. For basic, the strategy would be to select different subjects, and there we have to pick the basic NCRTs and books. The advanced studying is then how we connect with current affairs and advanced books of economics, polity. And third stage is are we able to execute it in say MCQs or in writing the plain answers. And so
as a
this are the
project
steps.
manager, what will be the constraints for this project?
Sir, first constraint is that every person is different. For example, how we
No, I'm saying for you. So you are designing a project for yourself.
Okay,
So
sir.
for you, keeping you as a reference, so what will be the project constraints?
So first project constant is that initially one has to study for very long time, and we assume in completion of this project that our productivity hours will be so and so, and we would be able to finish our syllabus, and on the basis of that rest of the things. But as a person, that often that deadline is missed of syllabus completion.
So how will you address the time overruns in this case?
So I think that in this kind of situation, little bit of agility is required, little bit of flexibility is required. So even in my real life projects also, sir, we thought of something, but in real life, flexibility is required.
So how will you address that so that there is no time overrun? For example, if you decide that within 1 year I will clear the UPSC, considering the variables, so what are the steps you will take so that there is no time overrun? Answer from a project manager point of view.
Okay, sir. So first is one has to keep a short time target. Only then we will be able to, because if we have a 6 month, 3 month target, we have to divide in 1 day, 2 day target. So second would be to keep update of multiple areas and how we can connect different things. So at times, sir, even in project we do duplication of work, and even in our study also we duplicate our efforts. We study something and again we study. If that can be streamlined and can be completed from say different papers, so these are the things that can be done to tackle time.
So in your graduation, you have read about a lot of subjects: marketing, financial management, corporate accounting, banking, and insurance, auditing. Yeah. Should I ask some questions on? So, what is the role of an auditor
So role of an auditor
in
is
an organization?
yes, sir. So the role of an auditor in an organization is to find out whatever entries or financial entries that have been made in the organizational books of account, if that is accurate or not. And so other than that, there are other concepts of auditor also. For example, the compliance auditor, or even if the basic regulations, if they are followed or not accurately, that can also be audited.
So, what are the regulations in place for audit of any organization? What is the act? Is a relevant act?
Sir, for an organization, the internal auditing and statutory auditing, this can be a part, and this is maintained by the Companies Act 2013, sir.
And which institution and organization regulates an auditor?
Sir, the professional course I have to, so I'm not sure currently I'm able to.
So, have you heard about NFRA, National Financial Regulatory Authority?
Yes, sir, I have read about it, but not in detail, sir.
So, another topic which we have studied is financial management. So, can you tell that I think personal finance is a very important aspect of everyone's life. They
Yes,
need to plan it properly. So, can you give 3 or 4 personal finance advices for a youth who has just entered a job or started doing a job, is earning around 5 to 6 lakh per annum?
So first I would say don't do unnecessary spending. So whatever you earn, try to spend where it is necessary. So second is that try to invest early. If you are able to save, think of the different investment places. And third, I would say, sir, investment should be diversified. Don't just go in one area. Think of equity, think of gold, and read about what sort of new investment areas that are coming.
So I hope since you have studied financial management, you will be also be aware of the budget.
Yes, sir.
So what in this budget has government brought for manufacturing sector?
So particularly for manufacturing sector, there is a mention of augmenting the dedicated corridors. So 3 corridors are mentioned. First is for the cement and energy sector. So second is for the port connection.
Is it in logistics sector or manufacturing sector? This kind of initiatives.
So it was written that it is under Gati Shakti to help manufacturing and reduce the cost in that area, sir. But mostly, yes, sir, logistics, it is related.
So any specific initiative to boost the manufacturing sector?
So in manufacturing, in agriculture sector, there is private and public investment will be there in the post-harvest activities, which means in the food processing sector and the cold storage and supply chain part will be, sir, looked into.
So your option is international relation and political science.
So,
So recently Indus Water Treaty is in news. So can you please enlighten us that what was the reason and context
yes, sir.
for which it was in news?
Sir, Indus Water Treaty, it is a treaty signed in 1960.
No, answer my question is the specific question.
So
Is the context and the reason why it is in news now?
Correct, sir. Sir, within this Indus Water Treaty, there is a provision of clearing any kind of dispute in 3 stages. First is by a Indus Water Treaty Commissioner, then at a negotiator level, and third will be a arbitration court. Sir, Pakistan has already taken the matter recently of the Ratle and Kishan Ganga project, that matter to arbitration, where India is saying that before even starting at commissioner level, how can we go to arbitration? So, sir, this is the problem.
Very good. Recently, I think the basic structure doctrine has also been like discussion, because there have been certain reports that the basic structure doctrine actually emphasizes supremacy of judiciary over the parliament. So, what is your view on the basic structure doctrine?
So, I think the
And
basic.
how relevant it is, and should it be reviewed?
Yes, sir. Sir, the basic structure doctrine is very important. It is important because it puts a limit on the government and government's arbitrariness in terms of changing the constitution. But sir, there is one area that I want it to be reviewed, and that is an exhaustive or a definite list by the judiciary as to what really defines or what sort of parameters are there. So if that can be covered, I think that part can be reviewed.
Don't you think it will constrain the, because the basic structure over the years have evolved?
Yes, sir.
So if it is a restrictive list is made, don't you think it will actually create more obstacles than actually meeting what the purpose was created for?
Yes, sir. But sir, the initial problem, it is subject to change. It can be subject to change with the changing time. We can have newer ideas, for example, rights of animals also in the part of it. But sir, initially if we have a list as to these are say 25, 28 areas where arbitrariness cannot come in change of constitution. So sir, that list should be given by judiciary.
Okay. So recently a lot of MPs were suspended from the parliament.
Yes, sir.
So what is your view on that? Does it hamper democracy, or was it in the interest of continuing the working in a democratic way?
So recently the suspension happened on unprecedented level, and in my view, sir, it has undermined democracy in some ways. So first, that those MPs, they were representing a huge number of people. Their voice was curved for an entire session. And so second, many bills were passed just in few minutes. But at the same times, from the other side, it has also been made clear the overall conduct of MPs, like coming to the well and creating a kind of ruckus in the house. That also should not be accepted. So I think, sir, in this way, a kind of initial warning given maybe twice or thrice, and after then a decision of suspension should have been taken.
So as a citizen or as a voter,
Yes, sir.
so what is your expectation from the people whom you have voted to parliament? So for example, who is the MP in your constituency?
Sir, Sudhir Bandyopadhyay.
So what is your expectation that how the honorable MPs should behave in a parliament? As a normal citizen or as a voter?
Sir, as a voter, I would want him to raise the topics that are related to my area. He has to raise if there are any issues or fund requirement. So second is that he also must maintain whatever the normal decorum of a house, and at least present in the house all the time, and there should not be any missing of his presence in the house.
So what are the pressing issues in your area?
So sir, my constituency, Chaurangi constituency, it comes in the part of north to central Calcutta. So the problem here is that the overall infrastructure is still very traditional. the development has not happened. And sir, second, I have seen that the overall, even the modernization part, for example, the electricity wires are there, but it is maybe hanging outside. So these are certain development aspects on or modernization aspect could have been raised by him.
Priya, I can see that you have done your 10 and 12 in mostly in commerce subjects. Then you went on to pursue Bachelor of Commerce.
Yes, sir.
Then I don't understand why you're coming for civil service suddenly after that. You could have pursued your career in commerce only. There's so many opportunities in the outside world. You have interest in entrepreneurship.
Yes, sir. Sir, while I was selecting what my career should be in class 12, so at that time I was exposed to a number of career options by my teachers, parents, and from internet also. And then I come across the stories of many IAS officers, many civil servants, how they are changing in different areas. So, sir, that impacted me. So I thought that I want to become also a civil servant, and so in that way I have taken this decision.
Going by that, I think you should be a good fit for Indian Revenue Service. So, because you have your optional as political science, but your preference for Indian Foreign Service is, you know, not at the top.
Yes, sir.
So, by going by that, I think you should be a good fit for Indian Revenue Service. What are your thoughts on that?
Sir, yes, I will be a good fit for revenue service because given I also have little understanding of finance and revenue, but at the same time, sir, I also think I will be a good fit for Indian administration service because as a person, my genuine quest for administration and working in diverse field and having that people's connect and the ground level work, I see that more in the administration service, and I am up for that. So, sir, I think both the service would be a fit for me.
Okay. So let's take that you were the uh, DM of Ayodhya, and the verdict has just come out,
Yes, sir.
and Honorable Supreme Court judgment has given the verdict on
Yes.
the uh, long disputed case.
Yes, sir.
What will be your preventive measures which you will take to ensure that there is normalcy in your district? And what help of technology and planning, what all you will be doing?
Sir, my first step would to create a total map of Ayodhya and mark the important places from where I see there can be vulnerability. And second, sir, I would connect with all my colleagues or the person to whom I should be connected, for example, the police force or the SP equivalent of my position. And sir, after that, I would then deploy and additional forces in those areas where I think there is a possibility of, say, a kind of procession or any kind of protest or even support rallies. And third area would be using technology like CCTV cameras and having walkie-talkies or advanced kind of communication and to understand that which areas and what kind of activities going day in and day out. And lastly, in this area, I would also use social media and internet because in small areas, what is happening from local news or local social media platform that can be understood. So,
What, according to you, are the three top qualities which you would require or which you think you have to become an IAS officer?
sir, first quality is that I am honest with myself and honest with the work that I do. So that is required in any work of public service. So second, I would say the dedication or the perseverance because at times we might not be successful in one go, but to have that patience that we will achieve, I have that, sir. And sir, last I would say that it is required to have a people-centric mindset. One should be very open to connect with people at large. So I think, sir, I'm associated with that, and these qualities are required.
Tell me your top 3 strength and 3 weaknesses.
Sir, my first strength, as I just mentioned, sir, it is about me being very consistent in my effort. So I don't give up that easily. So second is that the integral part. It comes from the fact that I am honest. So I'm integral, that whatever is said or whatever principles that I want to follow, I remain attached to that. And so third is that there is a understanding that I have to learn. I'm open to learning. So that kind of learning attitude is there. Sir, coming to weakness, I think that it is very important for a youth to balance physical activity along with intellectual activity. So, in the physical part, I should have done more from my part. And sir, second area, I would say that there have been more curricular activities in my life, like dancing or painting, where sir, I could have invested more to become a more enriching person.
Third,
Sir, third weakness, I'm not able to, sir, assess right now.
so you mean to say that you're not physically fit to become a DM, but then mentally you are fit.
So in physical thing, I think it can be managed, because recently I have started investing, like past 6 months. I've done the investment in yoga and meditation and walking also. So this can be augmented, sir, to manage that.
What according to you is more important, a healthy mind or a healthy body? You cannot have a balance of both.
So
So if you have to choose only one, which one is more important and why?
if I have to choose one, then a healthy mind is required. But sir, it has a connection with a healthy body. So both are very much deeply interrelated. But the first priority should be a healthy body, because then only we can think of a healthy mind. So priority wise, I'll go with the healthy body and then healthy mind.
So a healthy body with unhealthy mind will also do.
No, sir. Since I said it's a interconnected thing, without having healthy body, having a healthy mind would not be a very feasible idea.
Have you heard of Stephen Hawking?
Yes, sir.
Do you think he has a healthy body or a healthy mind?
Sir, his body internally was healthy. All his body organs were working, but maybe the physical activity that is required to do the activities like raising something, that was disturbed. But in that sense, he was healthy from inside and intellectually also.
What is the difference between extempore and debate?
So extempore, it is a way of public articulation where one has to say the thoughts on the spot. Whereas debate, where we debate, is a way of speech where there is a for and against the motion. So in debate we have to take both the points or either of the points. In extempore, it's a on-spot analysis.
Democracy, which one is good for democracy?
Sir, for democracy in general,
Yes.
so for democracy, discussion and debate is most important, sir.
Do we see that or we are saying extempore nowadays?
So I think to some extent there is extempore also, which can be, sir, maybe equivalent of rhetoric. But overall, there is also debate happening, sir. At the ground level, at assembly level, debates are happening. It has not taken a back seat, so it's going, I think, parallel.
Can you define this term podcast? What is the origin of this term?
So this word podcast, it originated after the word itself, after the early 2000, where the word iPod and broadcast was coined to suggest that there is an audio file that can be broadcasted and it can be listened to anytime.
How you think you can make use of your hobby, reflective diary writing, in your civil service journey? for the benefit of people.
Yes, sir. So, first area is that right from the day when a civil servant joins, he has to undergo very regressive training, and then he learns many things on the ground from the seniors and from also friends and colleagues. If that can be written in a diary and reflected upon, it will help to focus and would give a lot of effort in one's work. So second area is that at times we might forget why we started a purpose, why we started a journey. So if we can keep our goals very clear from the day one, it will help us to reach till the last mile. And so in public service it is required because in general it gives me a understanding how I develop and I can replicate my ideas in other places if posted.
Do you have anything to say before we end your interview?
Sir, yes, I want to say that I'm very happy and to sit here in front of you, and I enjoyed the conversation, sir. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.